Hello, and welcome to our Leadership Theory and Behavior Group presentation on administrative leadership. Our awesome group of professionals consists of Laura Travis-Ehart, Shira Settle, Jamie Steiner, Nicole Barnett, and myself, Angela Pate. Administrative leadership keeps a program stable and facilitates growth by maximizing the team's capacity to develop and sustain a vital early childhood program. Influential administrative leaders establish systems for consistently implementing early childhood program operations to meet the needs of children, families, and staff. There are at least two critical aspects of administrative leadership: operational leadership and strategic leadership. Operational leadership is accomplished through critical functions such as hiring, evaluating, and supporting teaching staff, developing budgets aligned with the program goals and needs, and maintaining a positive organizational culture and climate. Let's take a closer look at operational leadership. Operational leadership involves a set of critical functions crucial for any organization's success. One of the primary functions of operational leadership is to hire, evaluate, and support teaching staff. This involves recruiting talented individuals passionate about their work, assessing their skills and experience, and providing the necessary training and support to help them grow and develop professionally. Another essential function of operational leadership is to develop budgets aligned with the program's goals and needs. This requires a thorough understanding of the organization's financial resources and priorities, and an ability to forecast future needs and plan accordingly. Operational leaders must also be able to track and manage expenses, identify cost savings opportunities, and make strategic investments in areas with the most impact. Strategic leadership is crucial in early childhood education as it sets the long-term vision and direction of the institution. In contrast, operational leadership focuses on managing day-to-day activities and ensuring the strategic plan is implemented effectively. Effective early childhood education relies on operational leadership and strategic leadership that goes beyond internal focus. Administrative leaders must communicate and coordinate their program services with other community organizations serving young children and families. Addressing the critical functions of strategic leadership. First, advocacy plays a crucial role in the success of strategic leadership in early childhood practice settings. As a leader in this field, it is essential to recognize the significance of advocating for the needs and interests of children and families. Effective advocacy involves identifying and communicating the specific needs of children and families and working collaboratively with stakeholders to develop and implement policies and programs that address those needs. Furthermore, strategic leaders in early childhood practice settings must understand the impact of advocacy efforts on the larger community. Advocating for high-quality early childhood education and care benefits individual children and families and positively affects society. We are investing in the future of our communities and the world by equipping young children with the tools they need to thrive. Through advocacy efforts, strategic leaders can create positive outcomes for children, families, and communities. And finally, operational leadership maintains a positive organizational culture and climate. This involves creating an environment where employees feel valued, respected, and supported, and can work collaboratively to achieve common goals. Operational leaders must communicate effectively with staff, provide regular feedback and recognition, and foster a sense of community and shared purpose. There are models, frameworks, and practices that are tools for administrative leadership, as we see here. There's the ability to plan strategically, expertise in systems development, financial and legal knowledge and skills, awareness of organizational climate, public relations and marketing expertise, entrepreneurial focus, ability to interpret data, and public engagement skills. To achieve a goal, you need a plan of action. including activities, a timeline, resources, and evaluation checkpoints. A program leader must be able to communicate the program's philosophy and promote a positive public image, not just to the prospective families, but also to business leaders, policymakers, and funders. Some entrepreneurship characteristics include not afraid to take risks, confidence in self-efficacy, adaptable and flexible, developing community leadership, knowing your strengths and assets in the community, and collaborating with partners. There are numerous existing issues related to administrative leadership. Unfortunately, administrators don't have enough time to cast a vision and look for ways to improve their schools due to heavy demands and day-to-day operations. This makes it difficult for administrators to stay on the cutting edge and innovate. Administrators often have to work with low budgets and provide high-quality service to sustain and flourish. The cost of delivering such services vastly outweighs the amount provided for use within the budget. This leaves administrators scrambling to find creative ways to meet the standards of being a quality organization. It is challenging in administrative leadership to not only focus on the management piece. Because of high demands, they need to carry out their tasks daily. This makes it difficult to be a proficient team leader because the management piece doesn't leave much time. As administrative leaders, giving instructions and feedback on how things should be done is very easy. Unfortunately, when administrators are not in the classroom, the teachers may better understand how things should go. Often, administrators will make changes without considering this. Administrators have constant challenges dealing with staffing due to not being able to provide adequate compensation to their employees. This is often related to the low budget mentioned earlier. Frequently, fast food restaurants can pay their staff higher wages than administrators can. Many teachers express their love for teaching, but can't survive due to the low salaries. This leaves administrators in a tough place finding adequate staffing. Also, because of the inadequate compensation, it's almost impossible for administrators to find educated staff because they don't see the benefit of going to school compared to the wages they would receive otherwise. Due to administrative leadership focusing on strategic goals, there is a lot of focus on future planning. The strategic aspect of administrative leadership is all about planning for the future through goal setting. In my experience, effective administrative leaders engage in advocacy because they are future-oriented. They want to have influence on external conditions that impact their programs and not just react to them. Administrative leadership is needed to ensure that the organizational structures and processes are in place to support staff as they nurture the development and learning of young children and build partnerships with their families. Administrative leaders as stakeholders. There are varied requirements among administrative leadership when comparing home-based center directors, child care center directors, and elementary level principals. There is a need for a unified professional framework amongst these sectors of leadership. This unification would improve quality standards in education and programming. Because administrative leaders have a trickle-down effect on teachers, children, and families, all these stakeholders will benefit from high-quality leadership. What would the impacts look like for an ECE administrative leaders as stakeholders? Administrative leaders in early childhood education need to be prepared and willing to obtain educational minimums for their field of work. For example, elementary principals are typically required to have a master's degree in the public school system, although it is currently not required of ECE administrators to have undergraduate degrees. Doing so would help build a unified professional framework for these leaders to have a base standard. For example, requiring an associate's degree for home-based directors and a bachelor's degree for center-based directors would provide a tiered guide on which compensation could be based. This formalized guidance would allow the field of early childhood education to be more closely aligned with the public school system in structured compensation. In addition, core competencies in administrative leadership, pedagogical leadership, and leadership essentials would encourage a whole leadership approach in early childhood education administration, better preparing them for multiple demands of the profession. Created the broad buy-in system change and findings so that early childhood education and care leaders have equitable access to the education and training, as well as additional supports to achieve these professional standards, will be the challenges ahead in the next few years. This quote essentially summarizes the impact on stakeholders in unifying the professional standards of early childhood education administrative leadership. Leaders who have the greatest effect on creating quality care, nurturing environments, and workplaces where individuals enjoy being there, feel part of a team and decision making, and work collectively towards the greatest good, individualized care, diversity, equity, and inclusivity, and partner with families, community stakeholders to give children and staff their best chance for success, belonging, and maximum potential. This is done through collaboration, democratic processes, successful transactional leadership, inspiring others, and leading towards transformational leadership, strong relationships, positive interactions, and communication in a transformed collective environment and team. No one ever sets out to have a failing administrative leadership experiences, but knowing the signs of a bad leader is essential because these leaders can significantly impact your organization. Sometimes bad leadership can be challenging to spot, so let's review some of the common signs of bad leadership. Poor communication. Effective communication builds more robust, engaged teams. But when leaders struggle with communication, it directly impacts performance and trust. From being transparent and clear to listening and responding to employee concerns, leaders must focus on their communication skills. Another sign could be a lack of empathy. Great leaders use empathy to understand their employees. When leaders are empathetic, they can offer more meaningful solutions to business and employee needs. Examples of compassion in the workplace include asking about different perspectives, consider needs of others before your own, and having a sense of humor. Bad leaders, on the other hand, cannot see any different perspectives besides their own. They need help appreciating, recognizing, and supporting employees correctly. In return, employees lose engagement and trust. We need leaders who know how to properly address conflict. If you avoid conflict, it's another sign of bad leadership. When we avoid conflict, problems fester and grow. It creates a lack of trust throughout the organization, which makes it difficult for leaders to engage and inspire people to follow their direction. We need leaders to have accountability. When leaders aren't accountable, it can seriously impact the organization. Employees may lose faith in their leaders, and they may start to question their decisions and motives. A lack of accountability can also create confusion and resentment within the team, eroding the foundation critical to effective collaboration and teamwork. We must be able to build trust. If staff and other stakeholders cannot trust the leader, it undermines the organization and erodes trust and transparency throughout. Micromanaging is never fun for anyone, be it the leader or those following them. This can lead to a lack of confidence and motivation among team members who may not feel valued or appreciated. It also stifles creativity and innovation. Micromanagement is also time-consuming, and it prevents teams from working effectively, leading to missed deadlines, decreased productivity, and an overall decline in morale. When leaders set unrealistic expectations, they have difficulty delegating tasks and managing time. It negatively affects individual performance levels, causing team stress and can impact company profitability. A bad leader creates unnecessary stress for the parents and children, the families, the staff, and investors. Naturally, always coming up short leads to morale, goal setting, and satisfaction issues. Failing to create a people first culture. Leadership impacts company culture in a significant way. They can intentionally build a people first culture or let the culture emerge on its own. People first culture makes employees feel valued, appreciated, and empowered to do their best work. With higher levels of engagement, they want to stick around, be more productive, and even refer their friends to work there. And to work together to turn it around creates a culture where we all want to work and where parents want to bring their children for us to care for them. But what are specific steps to overcoming failing administrative leadership? Understanding what poor leadership looks like was vital to understanding how we overcome it. Let's discuss what steps we can take to correct this, what this looks like, and march towards positive, effective administrative leadership. Put people first. Understand individuals' needs, motivations, strengths, and opportunities. Listen more than we talk. Complete assessments to help understand one another and what makes us tick. Know strengths to allow others autonomy in those areas and opportunities to help support them in those, and also find professional development to strengthen that area if desired. Build immediate and lasting trust. Hold yourself and others accountable. Embrace change and allow staff autonomy. They'll greatly appreciate it and feel more comfortable and thriving in their work. Model positive interactions and effective communication. For example, a school principal responsible for operational leadership might hire new teachers passionate about helping students learn, set up a budget that enables the school to invest in new technologies and resources, and promote a positive school culture by recognizing the achievements of teachers and students alike. By doing so, the principal can help create a compelling and enjoyable learning environment for everyone involved. That's what successful administrative leadership might look like. Our team wants to thank you so much for your time and attention today. Please let us know if you have any questions or comments, and hope you have a wonderful day.